What is going on, everybody? Been a diehard Pistons fan since 2003, and it has been a long time since I've been so excited to be. Malik Beasley is currently in the running for Sixth Man of the Year. It is coming down to just a few candidates, and in this video, we're going to talk about why I believe Malik Beasley should be the favorite for this award and should win this award outright. We're going to talk about what the odds are currently. We're going to compare some of the stats of the top candidates. We're going to compare what those players have to do for their respective teams on a night-to-night basis and just kind of discuss Malik Beasley's case for this award. So the first thing we do need to take a look at is going to be the Vegas odds. This is not a betting show or YouTube channel, but this is always a great indicator of where things stand. As of right now, Payton Pritchard is the clear and far away favorite. Malik Beasley is showing about an implied 4-1 or 6-1 chance of winning this award. So realistically, at this point, I don't think Malik Beasley is going to win, and I think that is an absolute travesty, and we're going to talk about why. So the first thing we need to do is just take a look at the stats. On the surface, it looks pretty close. Malik Beasley is outscoring Payton Pritchard by about 2 points per game. Pritchard does have the edge in rebounding and assists. Right now, their efficiency is somewhere in the same ballpark. Malik Beasley, slight edge on the three-point shot. Malik Beasley's free throw percentage is quite low, which drags down his effective field goal percentage. But Malik Beasley or Payton Pritchard both don't shoot a ton of free throws as is. But overall, it's pretty darn close when you look at their total stats. They have both played almost every game this season, and they're right in the same ballpark as far as production goes. However, there is a couple different things that I think stand out when you dive a little bit deeper, and we're going to get into that. Number one, Malik Beasley has been the second option for the Detroit Pistons since Jaden Ivey has gone down. Outside of Jaden Ivey, who has only played 30 games for the Pistons this year, Malik Beasley is the Pistons' second leading scorer. Malik Beasley helps the Pistons a lot more than Payton Pritchard helps the Celtics. I can say with a lot of certainty that if you take Payton Pritchard off the Boston Celtics, that Celtics team is still comfortably in the second seed. If you take Malik Beasley off the Pistons, I have no idea where this team would be at in the standings, but I feel very confident in saying they would not be in a clinched playoff spot as of today. They would likely be in the play-in, and they might even be on the bottom half of that play-in without Malik Beasley. This argument is represented in their on-off numbers. The Pistons are +2 net rating better when Malik Beasley is on the floor. So when Malik Beasley checks in the game for the Pistons become a better team. Payton Pritchard is a -0.5 a point net rating on-off compared to when he is on the floor versus off. So when Payton Pritchard checks in the game for the Boston Celtics become a worse team when he is on the floor versus when he is off the floor. Malik Beasley just has a much bigger load, responsibility, and importance to the Pistons than what Payton Pritchard does for the Celtics. Of course, the Celtics are a very good team. That is not lost on me. Should that really knock Payton Pritchard in this award? I'd argue yes. I just think that right now, Malik Beasley needs to be productive, needs to be effective for the Pistons to be where they need to be. And Payton Pritchard does not need to do any of that for the Boston Celtics in order for the Boston Celtics to be the Boston Celtics. Payton Pritchard has a very easy job where he can check in the game. He's probably coming in while the Celtics have a big lead that they built up in the first quarter, and he can just run the second string, which is very good for the Boston Celtics. He's often sharing the court with a couple of the starters who are a bunch of all-stars or fringe all-stars, whether that be Tatum, Porzingis, Horford, who is, of course, a bit past his prime but still very good, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Drew Holiday. He gets to share the floor with a lot of very good players who get to take a lot of attention away from him. Malik Beasley does not have that grace. When Malik Beasley comes into the game, he needs to play well for the Pistons to be what the Pistons are. Right now, Malik Beasley is also coming up on a historic season He was the fourth player in NBA history to have 300 three-pointers made in a year, joining a club that only was held by Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and James Harden prior to this year. Malik Beasley did join that group, and Anthony Edwards did as well this year on the same exact night. But nevertheless, a very, very exclusive group to be in, and that's because Malik Beasley has been shooting the absolute hell out of the ball all season long. Couple things to note here. Bill Simmons, you guys probably know him, the Ringer owner, big podcast guy, the Podfather, has been in the basketball space forever. One of the biggest things that everybody knows about Bill Simmons is that he is an absolute Boston Celtics homer. Anytime that he is speaking on the Celtics, he is definitely gassing them up to the highest degree. He can be very blinded by his fan side of the Celtics when he's talking basketball on his podcast. But even he agrees with this idea that Malik Beasley should win this award because he is just so much more important to the Pistons than what Payton Pritchard is to the Celtics. On his podcast, Bill Simmons, #1 Boston Celtics homer, said, "I'm just telling you right now, I'm voting for Beasley for Sixth Man of the Year. I love Pritchard, but he's on an awesome team. The team can survive whether he's good or not. Game to game, Detroit can't. Beasley is beyond a rational confidence guy for his team. They actually need him to make big shots night after night to succeed. The Celtics don't need Pritchard in the same way." That really just echoes exactly everything that I have said in this video, but it's coming from somebody who is a huge Celtics fan instead of myself, who is a big Pistons fan, because I think that this is a real thing. Payton Pritchard is not a necessary piece for the Boston Celtics to be where the Boston Celtics are. Malik Beasley is an absolute necessary piece for the Pistons to be what the Pistons have been this year. On top of that, he is outscoring Pritchard. He's having a historic year shooting the three-point. I just think that Malik Beasley deserves this award 10 times over. There are, of course, a few arguments against him. Payton Pritchard's advanced analytics are incredible, but a lot of that comes from him being a part of an elite team. And he's also, been good. He's been very good. There's no question about that. He's also not started any games at all this year, besides maybe one or two where Malik Beasley did start 15 or 20 games or something along those lines, in between the time where Ausar was still getting ramped up and Jaden Ivey got hurt, and maybe a couple games here or there where Cade was out, Beasley got chucked in the starting lineup. But that really doesn't faze me, because if you've been watching the Pistons this year, Malik Beasley has been a sixth man. There's no question about that. Malik Beasley is not a starter for this Pistons team. Despite starting a few games, he is not a starter. He is a sixth man, so I think that he is a valid candidate for this award. All in all, I think Payton Pritchard is going to win, but I just don't think that is the right choice. I think that when you compare their importance to their respective teams, it's not even close. And also, too, historically, the Sixth Man of the Year award for a long time was simply who scores the most points off the bench. There wasn't a lot of thought into the way that people voted for this award. Historically, for the 20-something years I've been watching the league, 9 times out of 10, the leading scorer off the bench wins this award. And this year, that is Malik Beasley. So if I had a vote, I wouldn't overthink it. I would vote for Malik. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll catch up soon.